CodingPhase.com. Your boy's back, and I done did it again. One more time. Sorry, guys. I've been a little bit sick. So, excuse me if I cough a couple of times. You might see me cough a couple of times in this live stream, but I've been wanting to come back over here, go live with you guys. So, I do apologize if you see me coughing and stuff like that, but we gotta come back. I gotta get back into work mode. Okay, I gotta get back into coming in, hanging out with you guys. I don't care if I'm coughing. I don't care if I'm dying. I'm back. You get what I'm saying? Like we gonna get live right now. Okay. So please excuse me if I do cough once in a while. Let me see. Hello, bro. Salat Toto. I like the name Toto. Let me see. Miss Flaming Flames, what's going on? Michelle, what's going on? She says, I hope you feel better soon, Joe. Yes, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm alive and doing pretty good. Let me see. Stanislav is in here. Wanted to come in here live, guys. Wanted to talk to you guys, about web development, what's going on, like what the job market looking like. This whole week I've been, like I said, a little bit sick, and that's why I haven't been live. But I say, I can't be away from YouTube for this long, man. It's been almost 2 weeks. Even if I got a cough, I gotta get back in here. But yeah, man, the job market is looking, a little bit shaky, right? I'll be honest with you guys, it's looking a little bit shaky. But really, it's mostly for jobs in front end development and software engineering. One thing that I've been noticing is there's more email developer jobs than ever, and also to web administration and AI automation jobs. So, that's the things that we're going to be focusing in 2026. Remember, guys, my job here is to help you guys find job opportunities and teach you guys the right skills to get you hired. I'm not here to teach you, whatever's cool, whatever's trending, right? I focus on the things that's going to get you results because that's what you come here to your boy for, right? So, that's where we're seeing the most results. Okay. Shout out to Renee. Renee, he's one of the subscribers from CodingPhase. He's also a member of CodingPhase.com. He recently just got a second job and most likely will get another job offer. So it's like three jobs that want your boy. So shout out to him, man. I'm really happy for him. It's kind of crazy because, when you're first going on this path of like learning to code, first of all, it's in a sense, what's the word of it? It's not like, it's a leap of faith, okay? It's a leap of faith because you're switching careers. You don't know if this is going to work. You don't know if following somebody like myself is like the best choice. You're like, well, should I follow this guy? I mean, he's been doing it for 8+ years, helping people. Or should I go into his platform, right? So it's a leap of faith. Like, it could work, it could not work, right? That's what you're thinking in the back of your head. But interesting enough, once you decide, hey, I want to go on this path and I want to get this done, you know, the results is there, right? Now, there is no specific time frame of like, hey man, you're gonna get hired in a month, right? Hey, you're gonna get a job, a month and a half from now, right? It doesn't work like that because there's things that you got to work on. You got to first learn the skill, then after learning the skill, then you got to build a portfolio, you got to build your resume, right? With all of those things, we try to help you out on codingphase.com to make it much easier and help you expedite all of that. But once you get that done, then you got to go to the interviews and apply to the jobs, right? The jobs is there. They're looking for people who's qualified and can do the work, right? And once you get that first job, you get that first stamp, then everything becomes much easier, and that's something that, maybe we'll have Renee, maybe we'll do a quick interview. Shout out to Renee if you get to see this. Maybe we'll bring you into one of the videos here or a live stream to talk about this process because, you know, a lot of people, they don't understand that if you stay still, your life is going to stay in the same place. So what you have to do is you got to put your life in motion. and try to progress in whatever it is that you're trying to do, right? So as long as you keep moving forward, you're gonna get to your goals. But if you stay still and you're watching other people get shit done and you're not doing anything, then yeah, you're gonna be in the same place you was in last year and the previous year and the previous year. Okay? You have to keep it moving, right? And get the ball rolling. Once you get that done, then everything is like it's like going up a hill, right? Going up the hill is the hardest thing. Coming down the hill is much easier because now you could just slide down and chill, right? And that's something that happens in this career. Once you are already over that hump, right? Everything from there on is much easier. So, shout out to Renee, man, because I remember when, you know, he was going through the process and, a lot of people gave up. I'll be honest, a lot of people gave up. A lot of people on, let's say, his class, right, or the same time frame that he came in, a lot of people came in, they started doing the courses, started doing the projects, and then for whatever reason, they start losing motivation. Once they start losing motivation, they disappear, right? But people like Renee that followed it through, right? Now, fast forward, 2 years, we see he already has a year of experience. He already getting, not only just one job, but two jobs at the same time. And at the end of the day, like he's having great opportunities for himself, which allows him to make even more money. And the fact that he already has experience gives him leverage to then from there charge more for his next job. You know what I'm saying? Now he got some pretty big companies reaching out to him. You know, hopefully he don't mind me saying. You got companies like Sony that's interested in him, and and that's a pretty big thing because once he puts that one on his resume, it's a wrap after that. You know what I'm saying? Then from there, you could end up at an Amazon, you could end up at a Netflix, you could end up at a Nike, you could end up at a Lululemon. Like there's so many different brands and companies out here that once you get that first stamp of a really big company behind you, it's a wrap. Like you pretty much now coasting through because companies want to have people that have worked at big companies. And even the smaller companies, you go in and, like you see guys who have worked at, like, let's say Google, like a guy that works at Google, he could pretty much pick and choose whatever company he wants to work for. Because after that, every other company will say, well, if Google hire him, he must be really good. Same shit for like somebody like Renee. Working at Sony will be like an amazing deal for him because then now all the bigger brands will be like, yeah, oh, you worked here and you work with their email campaigns and you design their campaigns. Like, oh, shoot, yeah, we want you. And this is where you have that leverage where you say, well, I would like to get 120. I would like to get 140. What do you guys offer? What type of benefit packages? Or you guys have, remote, right? Now you could leverage that and you could choose what type of job you want. You know what I'm saying? So it's a great, it's a great deal for to get this. And just the fact, he's already like job stacking and doing all these things. Like it's something that I was telling you guys, but a lot of you guys don't listen, right? And I keep seeing people that right now they'll be like, well, I want to get hired, but they're not willing to pivot. You have to understand this, guys. When you are a web developer, like right now, myself, I'm a web developer. I can go in and do full stack development. I can go in and do front end. I could do in just back end. I could just focus on web administration. I could just focus on building mobile applications using React Native. I could go in, build even video games on the web. Like I could go and jump into so many different categories because I'm a web developer. Now for me, I don't care about which role it is that I'm going for as long as I'm getting paid, right? And the company is good, right? And the work-life balance is good. Then from there, anything that has to do with web development, I can do. And that's what I've been trying to prepare you guys for. When the industry becomes a little bit more harder for people to get a job as a software engineer, as a front-end developer, you are a web developer. You can pretty much work in anything that has to do with the web. Who told you that you needed to be a front-end developer? Front-end development, right, is the same thing that you would do if you was doing WordPress. That's front-end development. If you was gonna do Shopify, you're working on the front end, connecting to the APIs of Shopify. If you work with Big Commerce or Magento, it's the same concept. There's a back end, and you work on the front end. You build the front end view of that page. If someone comes in and tells you, hey man, we already have somebody that can do the front end, and we already have somebody that works on the plugins or the back end or even the DevOps, we want you to come in and help us manage the store. All we need you to do is come in, add the products, right? Put the right discounts, put the right banners on the front page, help us out with some landing pages, make sure the tracking is set up properly for, let's say, Google Tag Manager, Facebook Pixels, TikTok Pixels. We need you to do that. Yeah, go ahead, do it. You could do it. You know front end development, you know JavaScript, you know HTML, CSS. Why wouldn't you take that job? I mean, it's kind of crazy to me when I think about it, like how people stay at home without making any money because they're so sold on the idea of you have a job title. No, your job title is problem solver, right? You solve businesses' problems, and the skills that you have allow you to do a bunch of different categories to solve different problems for companies, and that's what you get paid for. You don't get paid for it to be a specific job title. You get what I'm saying? So when you realize that, then everything is much easier because now you start seeing that, oh shit, I don't have 100 jobs that I could apply to. I have 50,000 jobs that I could apply to. Now, again, do you need to apply to 50,000 jobs? No. You just need to go in and apply to the jobs that will give you the highest chance of getting hired. Like I could go in and open up on Indeed.com and say, well, there's 4,000 jobs for React developers, let's say, for example, and that were listed in the last week. Now, if there's 100,000 people looking for React developer jobs, that means that for every job, right, in a sense, right, there's about, I don't know, somebody do the math, right? Freaking 100,000 people divided by four, right? By 4,000, right? It's a big number per job. Okay. So if I go in and I say, okay, I'm going to apply to this job, but the average, let's just say the average for every single job is going to be like 5,000, 10,000 people. I might not even get seen. Not because I'm not qualified, not because I'm not good at this job. It's because there's too many people applying to that job. So it leaves me in the air, right? It leaves me with a lottery ticket. Excuse me, guys. Y'all gonna see me cough, okay? So yeah, so that's something that you got to think about. Now, if you go in and you start looking at other categories within web development, and you start noticing, okay, let's say email development. Okay, there's probably around 800 to 1,500 jobs, right? So it's not 5,000, right? Because you don't need 5,000, 10,000 people, 10,000 jobs being listed for email development. You'll have anywhere from 800 to 1,500 jobs on a weekly basis that you might see, right? And that's all over the United States. Now, one thing that you will notice is that the people who was actually applying to those type of jobs is probably less than 5,000, right? Probably less than 5,000 people applying to those specific jobs at any given moment. So then now, when to consideration and you say, well, there's like 1,500 jobs, okay? So in a sense, for every job, there's probably 5 to 10 people that is qualified for that job. So that gives you a way better chance. You could be one of the 10 people who gets seen and gets hired instead of you being one out of the 5,000. You get what I'm saying? The ratio, the difference is the same thing with like an e-commerce specialist. What is this e-commerce specialist? An e-commerce specialist is somebody who goes in, works with a CMS system or an e-commerce platform like Shopify, let's say, and your job is to manage the store. Your job is to make sure that the inventory is right, correct, that the products is listing the right colors, the right quantity that's available, right? That there's a sale, you got to put the right discounts, the right banners on the front page, etc. That's your job. Okay, might also come in with some clerical work, where someone will say, "Well, clerical work. What do you mean by this?" Well, you might have to work with a Google sheet, um, what they call it, like a Microsoft Excel sheet, to go in and set up the inventory for specific products, right? And you might have to go in and be like, okay, cool, I'll find, I don't know, let's say Samsung SD cards, right? 120 gigs. You got to go in and be like, okay, cool. There's around 47 that's available. We already have a couple of more that's coming in on the way. When that comes in, boom, we go in and we add that to that Excel sheet. That Excel sheet exports to a CSV file. You import it into Shopify, and now all of the inventory gets actually updated. Did you code? No, you didn't code, right? You went in and did some small clerical work shit. But guess what? You're getting paid. Guess what? You're getting a bag. Guess what? You also get to code and you also get to do things within the company, but you also do some extra little small little things, right? Same thing as somebody who does, let's say, a marketing specialist, right? Sometimes people get this wrong. They'll be like, well, marketing specialist, you got to be a marketing expert, or you got to be somebody who's in the world of marketing. No, you just know how to use the software and the tools for marketing. Okay, you have things like Klaviyo, you have ConvertKit, Salesforce, right? You get to learn how to use those tools, and because you have a technical background, you understand how these applications work. You could build this on your own. You could build your own Salesforce if you wanted to, because you know how all of this technologies work. You know how the front end work, you know how the back end works, you know how all of this shit works. Okay? And you could build it yourself. But guess what? They don't need you to build it. There's tools that they pay for that it's already built. Your job is to go into these tools and set up the automations. Okay, somebody came into Nike, they bought a sneaker, right? They bought it at the store. Once they bought the sneaker at the store, they asked them, hey, sir, do you have an account with us? You could save 10%. Why do they want to get that email? So they could send them more products later on and they could come back to the store and buy more. Guess what? Somebody has to set up those automations. You're like, well, I'm a front-end developer. I'm supposed to be building websites in HTML, CSS. No, dummy, you get paid to fucking make the company money. You don't get paid to just do one thing, right? And that's the thing that if you pigeonhole yourself and you put yourself in a little box and you say, well, I'm only this guy. I do everything, whatever pays, whatever makes money for that company so that company could give me money, right? You set up the automations for those emails. That yes, you're going to have to use HTML, CSS, and some tables, and there's like an old school way of building the emails. Yeah, you're going to have to do that. You're getting paid for your fucking time. You're getting paid for your time. It's the same shit that you're going to do in any job. I always tell you guys this, right? You're going to have to work no matter what you do in this world. You're either going to work in Walmart, getting paid $12, $15 an hour, okay? You're going to have to work. You're going to have to trade your time for putting the inventory in every aisle or cleaning aisle 5 because somebody threw up on the floor, right? And you're going to get $15 an hour. You're going to have to trade your time, your freedom, to go in and get paid that money. Now, will you rather go and do that, or you go to another company and get paid $40, $50 an hour? And you're doing the same thing, which is trading your time for money. Which one will you pick? I would rather go in and say, you know what? Let me go and build this emails. Let me go in and build this automation. Let me go in and build this couple of simple things. If I want to code on something cool or amazing, and this doesn't, I do that shit on my own time. Everyone that has ever worked in this industry knows that when you work at a company, 99% of the time you're working on boring projects. You're trading your time for money, okay? The coolest projects you ever gonna build are those projects you do at your house on the weekends and at night. Everyone knows this, okay? Because when you're working for a company, you're solving that company's problems with your technical skills. Now, if you say, I'm only going to apply to this type of job because this is the job that I want, and you're not getting results there, then you have to be stupid. Because guess what? Now you're wasting time, which time is money. You're not getting paid for your time. You're not accumulating money for your time that you're out here. And then now you're using up your whole savings. Or maybe you don't even have savings. You're out here just being a bum or a leech, leeching off your wife, or you leeching off your husband, right? Or leeching off your family somehow. Or shit, you're leeching off all of us, off the government. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you to decide, I don't want to be a leech. I don't want to go in and be waiting until somebody gives me a chance. I'm going to use the skills that I have and I'm going to work. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to get paid. So there's a lot of job opportunities out here, but you have to have a clear goal. You have to have a clear mindset and reset all of those things that you have in the back of your mind of of like, hey, I only want to work a specific job. It doesn't work like that. You have a skill that you could do over 100 to 200 type of jobs. Why are you limiting yourself to just one or two? Shout out to everybody in here. Let me go through the chat. Guys, as I'm talking here with you guys, answering questions, make sure you leave a comment, leave a message below. Okay, that way I could go in and answer your questions and also have a two-way conversation with you. Okay. By the way, guys, for anybody that is watching this, guys, go check out the links in the description, codingphase.com, guys. It's the best platform out here. We've been doing this for over 9 years. Really, I mean, we started in 2017. We're about to be almost 10 years. In 2017, we're officially 10 years in this. Okay. So again, it's up to you if you want to come in and you want to get some results. This is what we do. Okay, you get access to all of the courses, you get access to the portfolio templates, you get access to a resume builder that is guaranteed. Now that, hey, you could build a little resume, you could go to any website and build a resume. There's a website, right, that has a resume builder that's guaranteed. Okay, I tested it in more than 50 different job boards to make sure that it goes through the ATS bots. Okay, not only that, we also have our own proprietary way to build the resume to then from there help you out in getting a job. Okay, using AI, so you could literally go in and say, right now, I give you guys, if you guys haven't checked out my recent video, I show you how the resume builder works. You could literally go in and say, hey, I'm not a writer. I don't know how to make resumes, but just list out all the things that you have done at a specific job. For example, let's say right now you're an Uber driver. You could say, hey man, I'm an Uber driver. I drive people from one location to another location. I manage the gas on the car. I I do deliveries on Uber Postmates or whatever, right? You could just write it in plain English. Write down exactly what you do. Our resume builder will go in and make your resume into a professional resume, right? With all the right keywords and everything that you need to make yourself look more professional. So it could be any type of job, like literally. And it will go in and take that into a more professional way of how to explain what you did on that job. Same thing for your portfolio projects. If you never worked in the industry, you can go in and write down all your projects, what you did, and then from there, the resume builder will go in and actually build it for you the proper way. Now, not only that, it will take any job description. So you could create a master resume of whatever you have done before, and then from there, match it to another job description. And then from there, it will go in and match as many keywords as possible without lying, without going in and add extra things, but using your experience and the skills that you have to match that job that you're applying to. So I don't think you understand how powerful this thing is, right? Not only do we give you the courses, we give you the portfolio template, we give you the resume to make sure that you get through the ATS bots. We give you this resume builder so you can make sure that no matter what, like, you get seen. Okay, like, we're doing the whole process. The last thing that I need to do is, and I'm waiting for robots to come around. I'm gonna have a robot. That's the final thing that we add to CodingPhase. We add a robot version of Joe, and I walk you in hand to hand into the job and be like, hey man, go inside. And the last thing that I will do is put a little bug in your ear so I could help you answer the questions in the freaking job interview. Like, at that point, we're doing everything. But I'm joking, right? But the truth is that we do the whole process. We teach you the skill, give you the portfolio template, we give you the resume that you need to be applying to, right? And then on top of that, we giving you the jobs that you should be applying to. So we do the research, we find the jobs that with the skills that you have, and we say, hey, these are the jobs that you need to be applying to today. Again, you're not gonna find that anywhere else. We are basically a platform that gives you the whole process. We basically have everything that no one else has. Okay, people have courses, people have a course here, people teach you this, they teach you a bunch of random shit. We focus on getting jobs. That's how we get paid. We don't get paid by you coming in and signing up and forgetting you have a subscription. I don't want that. I want you to make money, because when you make money, you decide to continue to work with us. Okay, everybody that comes to codingphase.com gets a job, they continue to work with us for years, right? So I want you to succeed as much as possible, because that's how my business is built. By me delivering a great service that allows you to continue to work with us, right? It's much harder for me to get one person to come to codingphase.com and sign up who doesn't know me and hasn't gotten no results than me keeping somebody who actually has gotten results and is making money. So I'm more invested in you than you are invested in yourself. Trust me. Okay? I want you to succeed. All right? Let me see. Shout out to everybody here. I'm reading through the chat. Give me a second. Sorry, guys. It's freaking cold. Got me freaking for 2 weeks. I've been like this. This is why I haven't even made that many videos, because I've been, bro, like, it's hard for me to talk for a long time without coughing. But I got to come back in here, man. I can't leave you guys alone. Okay, let me see. You still in Florida? Yes, I'm still in Florida, unfortunately. Now, I love Florida. It's just, I just haven't had the best luck in Florida, so I want to go to Georgia. I'm probably going to go to Georgia. I'm thinking about going maybe next month. I'm going to start going through different cities and areas over there. I'm most likely going to move around Atlanta, touch down in the ATL, right? So I'm looking at this place called Stone Mountain. I like it. You know me, I'm a mountain type of guy. I'm the type of guy that when I go outside, I like to see a mountain. I like to see a lot of trees. Like, I'm that type of person. So I'm looking into Stone Mountain right now, that area. So it's not inside of Atlanta. I don't want to be inside of Atlanta. I want to live in the outskirts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get a lot of land, get a big ass house, right? Get a nice pool in the backyard. I could have a area where I could, maybe grow some fruits, some plants, right? So, yeah. Maybe I'll start growing some peaches. Let me see. Boom, boom. Arca Dark Light says, hey man, I literally built a multi-vendor e-commerce SaaS from a tutorial from a code with Antonio. I don't know who's that. Okay, I felt like I was scamming my client this whole time because I kept running into errors to the point where I want to refund their money. And I don't know, bro. You're doing what you doing? You're doing free promo for somebody. I don't know who Antonio is. But look, my suggestion is, don't charge people if you don't know what you're doing, bro. Give it for free. Okay, give it for free. And then once you already have hashed out all the bugs, then from there, you use those people's reviews that can say, oh, this guy was great, this guy helped me out, da-da-da. Then you use that for you to get paid customers. Right now, if you don't know what you're doing, you're building some random software as a service, and it has a bunch of bugs, bro, don't be charging people for that if you don't really know what you're doing, okay? Because what's gonna happen is that those people could have be converted into like paying members later on once it's working, but now you're charging them early on and it doesn't even work. So don't do that. Okay, let me see. Hawk 3222. What's your opinion on the future of industry with AI? People say that the syntax will be done by agents, orchestrated will be by humans. I'm struggling to see how that doesn't tank the software engineer roles. Now, look, the truth is that this is where the industry is gonna go, right? But you need to know what's under the hood, right? So I'll give you an example. Okay, let's say farming, right? Farming, right? So for you to plant whatever fruits or vegetables, right? You need to know how farming works. What's under the hood? Like, you know, how do you plant certain seeds? What's the best season to plant certain seeds? How much sun does a plant need to be getting? How much water should it get, right? So all of those things are things that you have to study. If you're going to be a farmer, somebody has to teach you that. So in a sense, you're learning the concept of farming and how all of these things work. Now, at scale, do you think farmers are planting shit on their own? No. They're using machinery to go in over acres and acres and acres and acres of land to be able to go and plant, a million, let's say, I don't know, 100,000 acres of corn, let's say. But at the bottom line is that they know how to plant one seed for the corn and what's the right way for that corn to grow. If you don't know that shit, you could have all the machine in the world. Your business is not going to work as a farmer. Okay? Now, bringing it back to software engineering and for developers. At the end of the day, you need to learn these skills to be able to use AI properly. Because even with I don't see AI as like an intelligent thing. It's not. AI is more like autocomplete. You ever gone to Google and you type in COD and then it shows you CodingPhase because you already searched for that. And the autocomplete has your history. So then from there, it could go in and give you a recommendation of channels that might start with COD, right? So that's what AI is. AI is really more like in a sense, is like a faster Google. Google, the reason why Google is able to give you all the websites in the world is because they scrape through the whole internet, right? And they have references of all of the different type of pages that's out there. And when you search a specific topic, it goes into the server, searches something that's similar to whatever it is that you're searching, and then it displays it to you. It's not that it's smart. It's like a really good encyclopedia, right? It's a really good autocomplete system. It's the same thing with AI. All of these people that keep saying, "Oh, AI is such a smart thing," or "Hey, we got AGI because what is it, Crowdbot and all this random bullshit." This is just a fucking a system that goes in and basically autocompletes whatever it is that is reading. So if you go in and you ask it, how many wheels do cars have? It already has that in its memory and goes in and says, a car has four wheels. Sometimes in Europe, you might see some cars that might have three wheels. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's because of the history that already has in there, the context of it. It's not smart. If you go in today and even 10 years from now and you say, I need a website that has an online store and I want to sell this product, and this product, it's going to go back into his history of how websites have been made. And then from there, give you an example of whatever type of website you wanted. That doesn't mean that it's creating something new. It's giving you something that was already there. Someone has to build this shit for it to know what to build. Now, the average person don't know how to use AI properly because they don't understand this shit. And if you don't know what's under the hood and you don't understand what software engineering is, you don't understand how to program, you don't know how to code, you don't know none of this stuff. You're telling AI to build you something and you don't even know how to give it enough details to actually build it good. It's gonna give you a random little bullshit. But someone that actually knows how to code and knows what's under the hood can actually go in and create something way better. AI, in a sense, it's solving the problem of saving us time. It's not creating nothing new. It's saving us time. Okay? So it's like right now, one of the things that I hated the most about, like, let's say, coding is, let's say, building an email, right? I don't like building HTML tables from scratch. Like, it takes so long to write all of those tables, table within a table, nested. I hate doing that shit. That shit is boring. It takes a while, right? That's why me personally, whenever I build emails, what I do is I already built emails before. So I have a bunch of different type of emails that I've done, and I just copy and paste the stuff that I've done before, and then I just edit those sections to match whatever new email I need to do, right? To save me time. Nowadays with AI, I can go in, take all of the emails that I have done, create some cursor rules, right? And then from there, now I can go in and tell the AI, hey, cursor, give me an HTML email using a fluid template, and I want to have a header with 5 links that's going to be on the top, centered. Then I want to have a top section, which is going to have a 1 column layout with 1 image in the middle, centered, have a title, a paragraph. Then from there, I want you to build a section with 2 column layouts. One has an image, one has a title, and then it has a paragraph. Do the same thing for the other one. Then from there, we're going to have a 3 column layout, and so on and so on. Now, using the things that I have done before, it goes in and builds the email that I wanted. Now, does it build it exactly how I want it? 90% of the way. It gives me all the boring shit that I didn't want to do, and it does it for me. What used to take me 2 to 3 hours to do, now I get it done in 10 minutes. Now from there, I can focus on the things that I want to care about, which is what image I want to add, what fonts do I want to use, what's the content that I'm going to put inside of that email. Am I making sure that all of the links are linking to the right place? Am I using a templated language, for example, like a AmScript or something like that, or Liquid, to display the real data from the emails, right? So now the shit that used to take me 3 to 4 hours that will make an email boring, the AI has done it for me. Now, if I give it to you that you don't know how to do emails, and I say, hey, go tell AI to build your email, it's going to build your email. The email is not going to be responsive. It's not going to be using all of the right type of tags and the type of ways to make sure that the email is responsive in every device. Okay. You're not going to be able to know how to really explain it to that AI, how to go in and build all of the columns and all of the layouts. You might just say, build me an email, right? But because I know how to build emails and I know exactly how to use this thing, and I'm referencing all of my work that I've done before, it builds it exactly how I want it. You understand that? So as far as like tanking software engineering roles, nah, it's not gonna tank software engineering roles. What's happening is that there's gonna be some dinosaurs. There's gonna be some people that's gonna be like, well, I don't want to learn how to use AI. I could build this on my own. Those guys, those are dinosaurs. Those guys, they're gonna get the hell out of here. They're gonna get out. They're gonna get kicked out of the game. By the time that they try to get into the game and they, you know, maybe right now they still got a steady job, But at some point, they're going to pull the rug because every job fires people and every job lays people off. Okay? And every contract finishes at some point. So when those dinosaurs, they hit the market, they're going to hit the market and they're not going to know how to use any of these tools. It's going to take them 6 months to a year to learn all these tools. And by that point, they wasted a year of their life. Now, when somebody that knows how to code and has been using all of these AI tools, they go into the job market, companies is going to choose over the dinosaurs, these individuals. And it's happening right now already. Like you're seeing it, that there's people that's getting more opportunities because they know how to use all of these tools. Like I give you an example, like right now, even in the marketing space, okay? If you are in MarTech, okay, MarTech, anybody wondering what MarTech is? You know how there's FinTech, right? There's software as a service, there's a bunch of different like subgenres. MarTech is marketing tech, right? So in MarTech right now, if you know how to use Salesforce and you know how to use tools like how to use Nano Banana to generate images, right? Or you know how to set up automations using NAN to be able to generate multiple ad images, right? You could get a job faster than a guy that comes in and says, well, I got 5 years. And the reason that is because you could be more productive than the guy that has 5 years. Because that's where we at now. And now companies are prioritizing how much work can you do. It's not just how much do you know, it's how much can you do. Do you understand that? And that's where the industry is going. So software engineering roles are not gonna tank. It's just like this idea of I just know how to code and that's all I need. That shit is gone. Knowing how to code is not what makes you special. And I've been saying this for years. People were looking at me like I was crazy. It's the fact that you can solve problems. If you're here and you're like, well, I'm a great database engineer, database administrator, that shit is irrelevant now. I could use AI and go in and write better SQL than somebody who's been in the game for 20, 30 years. Because it's syntax. It's just like a language. It has all those references in there. So that thing that you spent 20, 30 years to be like, whoa, I'm such a database administrator and I could write the best SQL queries, the best optimized, that shit got thrown out the window now. So if you didn't learn any other skills, any business skills, anything that generate money for the business, yeah, he's fucked right now. That guy that's a database administrator, he's fucked right now. If he didn't go into the space of cloud engineering, DevOps, and all he did was just, well, I write SQL queries. Yeah, that shit is no longer special. Anybody could do that. I could go in as a marketing, let's say a marketing individual, right? Marketing administrator. And I could go in. There was a role. Listen to this. When you work for some of these big companies, there's data analysts, right? There's data science, right? There's roles for people that all they did was go through the data and make reports. As a marketing specialist, I can go in and use ChatGPT to help me write the SQL statements so I could go in and get a report on the top selling products in the last 5 years for this business. There was a guy that used to get paid just to write SQL for that. He's fucked if he didn't learn anything else. You get what I'm saying? He's done because that shit is no longer special. He needed to go in and see what's happening with the industry and then from there start learning the other things that come around with his job. He needed to go into the marketing space. He needed to go into cloud engineering. He didn't get that AWS certification. He didn't get that Google Cloud certification. He was chilling because he's like, I got 20 years in writing SQL queries. Yeah, he's fucked. That's a dinosaur. Hopefully he made his money and he already got his house. He built his wealth and now he could chill somewhere. He could sunset somewhere else because the industry now shifted. The click-clacking is not special. I've been telling you guys that shit for years. Put number one if you've heard me say this for years. Number one, if you guys have been following, if you've been here with me for years, put number one. If you've heard me say, click-clacking is not special. The click-clacking on the keyboard is not special. What makes you special is actually solving problems. This is why even like now, some of these companies, they're trying to figure out how to do interviews now in the sense of, you know, even like leak code and all of this bullshit. Okay, all of this bullshit that they will do at Google, that shit doesn't show you that this person is a great engineer. Going in and memorizing, bullshit algorithms and riddles, that shit made no one, anybody there special. It was just a way to game the system. Okay, now we're gonna have to figure out a better way to get this. Find out what this person has here. Okay, and I wouldn't be surprised if in the next coming years, in interviews, what they will ask somebody is how to design a system for a specific type of application. Okay? For a specific type of application. So I'll give you an example. It makes no sense for somebody to go into an interview, especially if you're a software engineer, to then from there be doing riddles. That's a waste of time. Okay? The best way to test somebody to see if they really know their shit, it will really be like this. Give them a business problem that a company might be having, and how would they solve it? So Bob comes in, he's looking to get hired as a software engineer, okay? And Bob knows that this is, I don't know, Nike.com. On Nike, they ask him, hey, Bob, welcome to the company. We would like to ask you a couple of questions on how will you solve this problem. So you have around half an hour to an hour to solve this problem and come up with the best solution. We are launching a brand new sneaker by Jordans. It's the Jordans Baby Blue Retro. Now, how do we go in and get more customers to buy this product once we run our advertisement? This is what's going to separate the goofies and the people that know what they're doing. It's no longer about the click-clack, the little bullshit leak code. That shit, I've seen people that's killing it on leak code, and I tell them, hey, make me $1,000 in a month, and they can't even make $1. They don't know no business. They don't know how to solve problems. They know how to click-clack. Click-clacking is done. So now Bob goes in and says, okay, so Nike's coming out with the baby blue jeans, baby blue Jordans, right? How do we go in and get more people to purchase products after they see the advertisement? Someone that knows how to do this shit and knows how to solve this problem will think of this logically. This is a great way to test people out, to see if they really know their shit. Because knowing how to code is not the special part. You need to know how to solve the problems. And the technical part comes after. So how would I do this? First of all, I will ask questions. I will say, okay, so are you guys running advertisement? Is it TV? Is it going to be on social media? Well, we're going to do both. So, okay, great. So then the next thing I will say, all right, so if you're going to be running ads on TV, it will be good to have a QR code that will lead the user from watching the TV show to then from there going into a landing page. Okay, sounds good. Same thing for somebody who watches an advertisement on Instagram or Facebook, etc. We need to lead them somewhere so then from there we could retarget them and sell them more products. They saw the advertisement, they saw the product. We need to somehow get that person, because when they see the advertisement, there's no way for us to get them to buy that product right away. We need a way for them to actually go in and be able to remarket to that user. So the first thing that I will do is I will build a landing page. That landing page will have the Facebook pixels, TikTok pixels, Twitter pixels, Pinterest, uh, Google tags, and we will target, excuse me, we will track everyone who visits that website. Okay. We will also tag people who have clicked on adding the product to cart. We will also tag people who register to buy the product but didn't buy the product. Once we have that information, we can now go in and retarget these individuals, and we will create another page. Now, this page is only seen by the people who have actually shown interest in the product. The messaging there is going to be different than somebody who landed on just to see the product. We want to make sure that that page there is targeting specifically for those people that's interested in buying, but for whatever reason didn't buy that day. Okay. Now, once we have that information, the person comes in, they purchase the product. The next thing that I would like to do is I would like to go in and have a database of everyone who have registered to buy this specific product, or even registered and didn't purchase. I want to go in and create a list of all of those people. After that, we will go in and run more advertisement to those individuals with different type of products. Now, we will need to have in our database a way to see what products they have looked at, which products they have purchased, and then from there create an algorithm or a recommendation service to then recommend them similar products, either by the same brand, the same colors, or it could be the same price range as the previous product that they purchased before. Now, a dude that only click-clacks, he'll be there sucking his thumb because he don't know no business. He don't know how to solve that problem. You get what I'm saying? And that's where engineering is now switching over. You get what I'm saying? Because answering questions of a riddle doesn't make you a great engineer. Companies don't pay you to just code. Before, they will pay certain individuals to just be a working hand. There's people that work at companies that are literally a working hand. There's a guy that actually knows what he's doing, and he needs to be focusing on the bigger picture. Then all of these code monkeys, they need to be his working hands. Guess what? AI replaces that bullshit. I don't need your working hand. Now I just need the guy that actually knows what he's doing. So if your goal was to come into this industry in 2026 and be like, well, I just know how to code. This shit is bigger than just knowing how to code. You got to solve problems. So engineering is not going to tank. What's going to tank is the code monkeys. Code monkeys is getting out of here, and the dinosaurs is going extinct. That's what's going to happen. Shout out to everybody in here. Yes. And there's going to be some, Michelle Obi says, the people who write coding can't fix the errors. They don't know how it works. Bro, that's going to be a new service. All right? If you are thinking about creating a new business in 2026, a great service will be like I'm a vibe coder janitor. I come in and I clean up your vibe coding apps. Right? I clean it up. There's people that's going to be vibe coding and creating ideas and creating things, and maybe they become profitable. But they don't know the security problems that's happening. They don't know how to optimize it. They don't know how to do none of those things. This is where they're going to need somebody who has the knowledge of vibe coding, but has the technical background to go in and understand what are the pitfalls that these type of applications have. That right there is a service that they can provide to people. Now, a company like that won't most likely won't need to hire somebody full time for that. But if you go in and you say, well, I got 5 clients and they each pay me $2,000 a month for me to literally go in and be a helping hand for them and make sure that their applications are up and running good, guess what? Now you got a business model. Same way how there's 5 people, there's probably another 500 people who need that service. Whoever provides this service is going to be very rich because that's going to be something that's going to be needed. So as some opportunities close, some opportunities open. Now it's up to you what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Michael Over says, AI is a bunch of if statements. Yeah, that's the truth. We're incoherent. Jamo says, this man's the goal. I've been in tech for 10 years. I worked in 2 fan companies because of his courses. Currently at Apple. Shout out to Jamo. Jamo, congrats, bro. Let me see. Michael over, get your Instagram. Reading through here. Mohadib says, I mean, make him a movie, sell him your services, tell him what they want to hear. Let me see. Reading through here. Shout out to everybody that's in here. By the way, guys, for anybody that's interested to come in and learning at CodingPhase.com, guys, this is the best time. Look, right now, I'm like I said, I'm trying to make this as affordable as possible. For this whole year, I'm giving CodingPhase.com for $1 a day. Okay, $1 a day. That's basically $30. If you sign up for the yearly subscription, you pay 70 cents. Okay. There's no other platform like CodingPhase.com. We've been doing this shit long enough in here. Put number 1 if you've been watching me, if you're taking my courses. Number 1 if you believe that we are legit and we've been solving problems, we've been helping people get into this industry. You've seen it, how we've done it over the years. Put number 1, right? Put number 2 if you think this is all bullshit. And put number 3, I don't know enough, right? So I want you guys, everyone that's here, okay, y'all can judge my character right now. Number 1, we know Joe's legit. We've seen it. Number 2, this is all bullshit. And number 3, I don't know enough. Okay? It's fine. Okay? You could judge my character, judge what we do. But for anybody that's in here, right? Look at the numbers and you could take this as a way to see if this is something that you might be interested. But on CodingPhase.com, we have everything for literally $1 a day right now. Take advantage because to be honest with you, probably following after this year, what I'm probably going to do is I'm only going to work with the existing members of CodingPhase.com and I'm only going to focus on the Tech Accelerator. Okay, so right now it's a great deal. You get access to all my courses, all my services, and everything that we provide for $1 a day. Take advantage, okay? I'm doing this because I know the economy is a little bit shaky right now. I know there's a lot of people that need some help and want to go into this career, but don't have the budget. To be honest with you, I should be charging $100 for everything that I do, okay? But I make money in other ways. So I try to help out as many people as possible. And I say, you know what? This year, we're going to make it $1 a day. Make it as affordable as possible for new members to come in. Okay. So take advantage. Okay. Now, if I don't see that people care about having it at $1, cool. Then I don't work with anybody that wants it at $1. I just focus on $100 a month and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So please take advantage. I want you guys to come in and sign up because I added so many cool things to CodingPhase, man. It's everything that I wish I would have done from the beginning. Like, having the portfolio templates, the resume builder, the job board, all of these things, I pay a lot of money for it. And I pay for it because I want to get people results. It's everything that I wish I could have done for everyone from the beginning. Because it's more than just taking a course. When you take a course, the course really just teaches you the skill. But there's so many other things that you need. Like, how does my portfolio supposed to look like? What projects should I be building? You know, what type of resume should I have? What my resume should say? What job should I be applying to? Those are the things that no one else really provides. And I said, you know what? I got to go in and add it. That's why I added all of these things over the years to make sure that there's no excuse. Like, if you really want to do this and you want to learn the skill, it's just about sitting down, spending an hour to 2 hours a day on CodingPhase.com, going through the skills. Now, there's no excuse of why you can't build a resume. The resume is there. Now, there's no excuse of, like, how should I build a portfolio? We give you the portfolio. Okay, what projects should I be building? We give you the projects. Like, I want you to succeed. You have to understand my whole business model is based on that, on you actually making money. I don't make money on you coming in and signing up for $1 a day. Like, let's be honest. Like, that's just basically paying for, just keeping the lights on. Where I make money is when you actually succeed and you actually go in, have, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years at your job, and then you come back and you see the value that we've already provided to you. And you say, damn, I'll come in and work with Joe for another year. I'll come in and sign up for a lifetime membership. I'll come in and, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a great way to really prove what we do. And then in the long term, you come back and you take care of your boy, okay? That's just how it works, okay? So at the end of the day, I want you guys to come in and really take advantage of that. Let me see. Jama said, Larry, a promo code took me to 6 figures within a couple of years in the industry. Yeah, bro, that's how it is. Let's see. Don't be surprised it will be a new job role title, vibe code cleanup specialist. Vibe code janitor. I need a vibe code janitor. We starting you at $35, $45 an hour. But yeah, man. Like I said, guys, definitely go check it out. Thank you for hanging out with me. Excuse my little cough. Hopefully I'll get a little bit better in a couple of weeks. I don't know what the hell this freaking cold got my chest like crazy. But like I said, we adding a lot of cool stuff right now. We're launching a new JavaScript course. It's an interactive course on CodingPhase.com. So for those of you guys that have been struggling with JavaScript or haven't even learned JavaScript, you're gonna have access to that hopefully today or tomorrow morning. So definitely go check that out. All right. And yeah, man, it's all of that just for $30. Okay. Go to CodingPhase.com. Check it out. All right, guys. Take care. Peace.